ओम सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ओम शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ओम सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। ॐ जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्च अर्थेष्वभिघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। समस्तदेवताभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराण आचार्येभ्यो नमः। परब्रह्मणे महाविष्णवे ब्रह्मणे सनकादिमुनिभ्यो नारदाय वेदव्यासाय शुकब्रह्मर्षये सूतमहामुने शौनकादृशिभ्यो त्रयादृशिभ्यो प्रह्लादादिभक्तेनेभ्यो आदित्यादि नवग्रहदेवताभ्यो दशदिक्पालेभ्यो नमो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओं श्रीकृष्णपरब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम् एकादश स्कन्धः मुक्तिर्हित्वान्यथा रूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः। अथ सप्तविंशोऽध्यायः। उद्धव उवाच। Like every day, once we brought our mind to concentration with these prayers and also invoking the grace of Bhagavan and the Guru Parampara to bless us to do this study effectively for our such an understanding that it inspires us to take up this work of Adhyatmic sadhana so seriously, sincerely, that other than this, our mind should not get distracted to anything else. Having done that prayer, now let us do our everyday's second job of doing the chanting or parayanam before the third duty commitment of studying the meaning of the shlokas as well as the topic. Now the parayanam right from the beginning up to some 25 shlokas. उद्धव उवाच क्रियायोगं समाचक्ष्व भवदाराधनं प्रभो यस्मात् त्वां ये यथार्चन्ति सात्वताः सात्वतर्षभा एतद्वदन्ति मुनयः मुहुर्निःश्रेयसं नृणां नारदो भगवान् व्यासः आचार्योऽङ्गिरसस्सुतः निःसृतं ते मुखाम्भोजात् यदाह भगवानजः पुत्रेभ्यो भृगुमुख्येभ्यः देव्यै च भगवान् भवः एतद्वै सर्ववर्णानाम् आश्रमाणां च सम्मतं श्रेयसामुत्तमं मन्ये स्त्रीशूद्राणां च मानदः एतत् कमलपत्राक्ष कर्मबन्धविमोचनं भक्ताय चानुरक्ताय ब्रूहि विश्वेश्वरेश्वर। श्रीभगवानुवाच न ह्यन्तोऽनन्तपारस्य कर्मकाण्डस्य चोद्धवा संक्षिप्तं वर्णयिष्यामि यथावदनुपूर्वशः वैदिकस्तान्त्रिको मिश्रः इति मे त्रिविधो मखः त्रयाणाम् ईप्सितेनैव विधिना मां समर्चयेत् यदा स्वनिगमेनोक्तं द्विजत्वं प्राप्य पूरुषः यथा यजेत मां भक्त्या श्रद्धया तन्निबोध मे अर्चायां स्थण्डिलेग्नौ वा सूर्ये वाप्सु हृदि द्विजे द्रव्येण भक्तियुक्तोर्चेत् स्वगुरुं माममायया पूर्वं स्नानं प्रकुर्वेत धौतदन्तोऽङ्गशुद्धये उभैरभिजस्नानं मन्त्रैर्मृद्ग्रहणादिना सन्ध्योपास्त्यादिकर्माणि वेदेनाचोदितानि मे पूजां तैः कल्पयेत् सम्यक् सङ्कल्पः कर्म पावनीम शैली दारुमयी लौहि लेप्या च सैकति मनोमयी मणिमयी प्रतिमाष्टविधा स्मृता चलाचलेति द्विविधा प्रतिष्ठा जीवमन्दिरम् उद्वासावाहनेन स्तः स्थिरायाम् उद्धवार्चने अस्थिरायां विकल्पः स्यात् स्तण्डिले तु भवेत् द्वयं स्नपनं तु अविलेप्यायाम् अन्यत्र परिमार्जनं द्रव्यैः प्रसिद्धैर्मद्यागः प्रतिमादिश्वमायिनः भक्तस्य च यथा लब्धैः हृदि भावेन चैव हि स्नानालङ्करणं प्रेष्ठम् अर्चायाम् एव तु उद्धवा स्तण्डिले तत्त्वविन्यासः वह्नावाज्यप्लुतं हविः सूर्ये चाभ्यर्हणं प्रेष्ठं सलिले सलिलादिभिः श्रद्धयोपाहृतं प्रेष्ठं भक्तेन मम वार्यवे भूर्यप्यभक्तोपहृतं न मे तोषाय कल्पते गन्धो धूपः सुमनसः दीपोन्नाद्यं च किं पुनः शुचिः सम्भृतसंभारः प्राग्दर्भैः कल्पितासनः आसीनः प्रागुदग्वार्चेतु अर्चायामतसम्मुखः कृतन्यासः कृतन्यासां मदर्चां पाणिनां मृजेत् कलशं प्रोक्षणीयं च यथावदुपसाधयेत् तदद्भिर्देवयजनं द्रव्याण्यात्मानमेव च प्रोक्ष्य पात्राणि त्रीण्यद्भिः तैस्तैर्द्रव्यैश्च साधयेत् पाद्यार्घ्याचमनीयार्थं हि त्रीणि पात्राणि देशिकः हृदा शीर्ष्णा च शिखया गायत्र्या चाभिमन्त्रयेत् पिण्डे वायुअग्निसंशुद्धे हृत्पद्मस्थां परां मम अन्वीं जीवकलां ध्यायेत् नादां ते सिद्धभावितां तयात्मभूतया पिण्डे व्याप्ते सम्पूज्य तन्मयः आवाह्यार्चादिषु स्थाप्य न्यस्ताङ्गं मां प्रपूजयेत् पाद्योपस्पर्शार्हणादीन् उपचारान् प्रकल्पयेत् धर्मादिभिश्च नवभिः कल्पयित्वासनं मम पद्मम् अष्टदलं तत्र कर्णिकाकेसरोज्ज्वलम् उभाभ्यां वेदतन्त्राभ्यां मह्यं तु भयसिद्धये सुदर्शनं पाञ्चजन्यं गदासीषु धनुर्हलान् मुसलं कौस्तुभं मालां श्रीवत्सं चानुपूजयेत् नन्दं सुनन्दं गरुडं प्रचण्डं चण्डमेव च महाबलं बलं चैव कुमुदं कुमुदेक्षणं दुर्गां विनायकं व्यासं विश्वक्सेनं गुरून् सुरान् स्वे स्वे स्थाने तु अभिमुखान् पूजयेत् प्रोक्षणादिभिः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ओम श्रीराम जय ओम श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम श्रीभागवत शरणं मम श्रीसद्गुरु शरणं मम श्रीसूत शरणं मम श्रीशुकदेव शरणं मम श्रीव्यास शरणं मम श्रीनारद शरणं मम श्रीकुमार शरणं मम श्रीब्रह्मा शरणं मम श्रीविष्णु शरणं मम श्रीपरब्रह्म शरणं मम श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम शरणं मम शरणं मम श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव ॐ मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं स्वर्गे सत्ये च कैलासे वैकुण्ठे नास्ति यन्नसः अतः पिबन्तु सद्भाग्याः मामहमुञ्चितगर्हिषित ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ श्रीकृष्णपरब्रह्मणे नमः श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम् एकादशस्कन्धः मुक्तिरहित्वान्यथा रूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः अथ सप्तविंशोऽध्यायः श्रीभगवानुवाच This much of time, every time required in the initial days to bring our mind to the work in hand called as spiritual study, etc. Then only we will be able to focus and do. Second is what? In the life of ours as human with very meager amount of years, maybe 100, 120, in which also every day had to be spent more than half of it only for the maintenance as well as the reciprocation to the world, from where we get so many things. What we are left with is only few hours. In those few hours, definitely everything we cannot do, but something we can do. And that something, if it is the best thing, I think we can help ourselves the best way. Therefore, whatever those 5 6 hours of the day at our free disposal, the best way of using them are for the spirituality only. In that also, we have to have the conviction about the goal and means. Therefore, till the conviction of goal and means happens, the best way of spending time is in Shravanam, Adhyanam, Mananam to get the conviction. Once we are very clear about it, then the better than the best way of using the time is only in doing our understood convinced sadhana. Thus, assessing every day our abilities and the opportunities and doing the best for that day, then leave it again the next day comes in front of us as the presentation and opportunity by the God that day also, how much ever we can do. If possible, adding to some details and depth of what is done yesterday. In this way, as a simple, humble, sincere, serious, devoted sadhaka with Shraddha, when we do as much as we can, this is how we can be assured that in time we can slowly proceed towards the Guru and God, toward the goal. But if the devotion to Guru and God is more, not only in time but in no time, we can reach to it. So, in these thoughts, where do we stand on today? Let us observe ourselves. As regards ourselves, the portion of ego is not that bad as it was earlier. As regards our regularity and sincerity is concerned, it is also not bad, but it can be improved upon. Then our faculties are concerned to some extent, maybe 20 30%, they are freed from raga, dvesha, kama, krodha, rajo, tamo, guna. Much more has to be achieved in that context also. So while doing so, and when we are in the class, how much is our attentiveness? If you see sufficient, we can say at least we are not so much troubled, disturbed, agitated, frustrated in the class. That means what? That much purity, that much interest, that much grace of God we have in the class. Then, how much of the topic is understood by us every day? That also can be a question each one can answer to himself. This much also, if it is done slowly, definitely this good heart of ours will pave way for the better opportunities in future. If some of us can have more interest, if not too tired and exhausted only in the class, little more interest they have, they can do a half an hour or 20 minutes of little of the mananam of what is heard in the class. So that adds to the understandings as well as convictions, which will strengthen us being the spiritual seeker. In this way, when we go on understanding, convinced, then once in a while, as the time comes, the sadhanas we take up, more opportunity comes, intensely we do sadhana, focused sadhana, sadhana with full understanding every moment as to what we are doing and what to achieve. When this way the picture is very clear, in fact, we can celebrate that we are on the path, we are making use of the life in a good manner. We can say that we are secured now. Yet, we can't take chances with the mind, with the world, with the senses. That is always there. And what prarabdha waits us also, we don't know. But uske prati bhi चौकन्ना रहते हुए ही we can keep on like this. And while doing this, one or two things what we can add are gratitudes to the Guru and God for continuously protecting us, for continuously taking care of us. And also, because we are on good path, let us be on the good path. Let us be committedly on the good path, not to deter. Little of that strongness is there in us, that also helps us. Along with that, a little cheer, a little joy, a little of self confidence, a little of belief in us that yes, good. By His grace, definitely, but we are on the path at last. है ना? आखिरी बस मिली गई मुझे, ट्रेन मिली गई, है ना? इतने बसेस के लिए वेट किया, आए नहीं, जो भी आए भर कर आए, तो मैं चढ़ नहीं पाया. We had all our school colleges like this only. Every bus was only footboard all the youngsters. We never used to dare in the beginning to enter. But when we also became young, then हम भी लटक कर गए. कभी कभी मिलता ही नहीं था बस, तो 1 घंटा 2 घंटा लेट to school college. But at last पहुंच गए. So even in the same way, at last we are being accepted by the Guru Parampara. Still, it is not over. Any gadbad we can do and they may leave us, drop us. But as much as possible from our side, as with our own simple, humble capacities, we will show our sincerity. See how many vasanas we have, how many bad habits we have. This is all one account. Anyway, that has to be washed. Definitely washed. Not even a trace of that should be there. But how do we do achieve it? And also, should it mean that because we have such a habits and vasana, that nothing of the spirituality we can do or we should do? No. Other side of our life, we should take chances and we can do seriously, sincerely, with whatever the best abilities we have. This is how slowly the quantity of our sadhana with seriousness, sincerity, when it goes on added, goes on increased, improved upon, then obviously these things go away. In the beginning, it doesn't appear that we are becoming free from bad habits and vasanas, but slowly when we continue, we can see, if not 100% removed, at least the removal started happening 2%, 3%, 4%. That itself is a good gain in one lifespan. In this Kali Yuga of such a worst outer situations, etc., instead even other not even growing something positively, but if we have not destroyed ourselves further, that itself is a good achievement. If you have not added any dussanga to our life, if we have not degraded ourselves from where we are, that itself can be a commendable thing. But along with that, if really we have added with our seriousness, sadhana, we can say well done to ourselves. And one aspect of all that is our regularity in satsang. So we are doing it and we are sure Bhagavad Guru Kripa will definitely be on us. So with these little few thoughts in 27th chapter, in this 11th skandham, which is Mukti skandham, Mukti Ritva Anyatha Rupam Swarupena Vyavastiti. For these both things which we discuss now, for the Karma Bandha Mochanam, means freedom from vasanas and all the negative habits, as well as Nishreyasa Prapti, that through being qualified for meditation and on the seat of meditation, realizing the self, called as the Nishreyasam, one of the very effective sadhana that helps us is doing the Aradhana of Paramatma, Archana of Paramatma, called as Kriya Yoga. So that is what is Uddhava asked, representing all of us. So through the medium of Uddhavji, Sri Lord Bhagavan Krishna guiding all of us also, if you see, with all smallest details onwards. Yeah. Now yesterday, day before, in last couple of days, whatever we have seen are some of the inner mental preparations, etc. of Shraddha, of the Bhakti, etc. And also, latest yesterday, if we see, Bhagavan taught us the Pratima. In that Pratima, to do Upasana, you can have the Pratima made out of these, any of the 8 dhatus. And why Pratima? We all explained yesterday exhaustively. Among all those exhaustive explanation, if 2 things we remember, that is enough. One is we need an alambanam for the mana in the initial days to focus. Then only the mana can involve substantially in doing the upasana. Second is, as long as we are in the Deha, Bhagavan also there in the Rupa, whom we have to worship. Keep these 2 things in mind. Enough for us to be inspired to do the Upasana Aradhana and need not listen to anybody, whoever, whatever they talk. Dekho, we have yesterday, day before, I told you for 37 minutes, ki this is not an ordinary teaching by any person copied something else. It is not even the teaching of a sadhu santa mahatma. It is not the teaching of the rishi. It is a teaching directly of Bhagavan himself. Do you remember yesterday we talked so exhaustively? We said it in this way. After listening to the Bhagavan also, if we are not convinced and starting to do, who else will come and help us? Whose words we will see? Who can tell us to take initiative? In that language he spoke yesterday. So Bhagavan is giving us, told us to have upasana of him through this pratima and all the other 6 more things. Among those 7, how the pratima can be made, he has given us. Out of these 7 things, pratima can be made out of 8 dhatus. Keep it in mind. तो शैली दारुमयी लौही लेप्या लेख्या च सैकति मनोमयी मणिमयी प्रतिमा अष्टविधा स्मृता. This is how the 8 types of pratimas were prevalent right from many earlier times till now. So with any one of them, depending on your need or capacity, you can do. And in that you can know if the pratima has to be for long time, it can be lauhi. It can be also, what I say, it can be shaili, lauhi and manimai. They can be for long time. And effortlessly, whenever you go, wherever you go, if you want to have a murti, it can be your own manomai. Is it not? If it is for less time, it is darumai. Then the lepya, lekhya, किसी से आप बना लो. And what is important after making pratima out of them is, no more it is a stone, no more it is a the diamond, no more it is any of those. It is none but the Lord whose puja I am doing to reach the Lord only. And to do this puja, who is telling is the Lord himself. Every day that has to be remembered. I am doing puja of my Lord in this idol, as told by him only, to reach him. If this much we do, the inspiration, interest, the commitment, the conviction, the application will be better. Okay? Then Bhagavan started saying, even this pratima also, 2 types. So, achala as well as chala. Achala is that which is stationary, non-moving, placed at one place only. Generally, they are all temples. In that, as we said, exhaustively with all the Vedic rituals, the prana pratishtha of the Lord is done. After that, there is no udvasana, there is no avahanam and udvasanam to him. Means what? It is accepted wholeheartedly, fully, that the Lord is always there. So to such Lord of Achala Rupa, especially Prana Pratishtita, every day there will be morning, what you call the awakening of the Lord, Suprabhatam. And all when a guest is in our house, how do we take care of him? In that way, all the puja archa throughout the day are done to him. The snanas, the abhishekas, the alankaranas, the naivedya samarpanam, the stotra patanam for the Lord, pleasing him in as many ways as possible, goes on happening. If they are the highly famous temples like Balaji, Tirupati and all of that, the pujas are all the day. If they are the temples in our own society, locality, etc., there from morning 5 to 11, 12, the pujar will be there. Puja Saranam, again he goes 4 o'clock, he comes till 8, 9. What a beautiful system it is, you see. Then in the evening, after Naivedyam, Puja and Naivedyam and wonderful Adbhuta Arati. Sandhya Arati is different. Then the night after Bhojanam, the final Arati is done. And that day, the Lord is made to sleep. Shayanam. Is it not? So that next day morning again we wake him. And is all our bhavana. The Lord ultimate never sleeps, need not to be waken up. But in the temple, the Prana Pratishtha Bhagavan is taken like us only. Therefore, we do upasana to him like that. And that is why the word which we have not explained yesterday, not missed, not forgotten, but did not find time to say, was that Ki Pratishta Jiva Mandiram. The Pratishta is that Pratima of the Lord. Okay, it is Jiva Mandiram. Means what? It is the temple and abode and the house of the Lord, with the Lord there enlivened, alive, pranayukta, conscious. That Jiva Mandiram, what is said here, is said by us as the Prana Pratishtita Paramatma. Jiva Mandiram. Wonderful. So, Chala Chalet Vividha Pratishtha Jiva Mandiram. Chala is Pratishtita. And Achala also, daily we bring Jiva into him and do Upasana. How that is done, it will be told to us in next 3, 4, 5 slokas. Now that is why learning from this only, as we told you, even in those Punjabi bandhus, what they do Upasana, they take the pustakam only as God. Early morning 4 baje, they take it from the place of that sleeping to the worship place. Throughout the day it is done. Then the night again 10:30, 11, again they take it and to keep it. We have seen it in that. So all that is copied from here and nothing wrong. Very good. How beautiful that process is. And we had in our childhood, when we stayed lot of times during specially holidays in the villages. One simple temple, few villagers only, but that was enough. Those 10, 15, 20 used to attend. Puja will be there. So we were given a ghanti or something, dum dum dum, children. We used to play that. Then Aarti is done in the evening, 8, 9. Then Bhagavan Kushayan. Then the last little prasadam, Mandir Band, again early morning. How wonderful those days were. Minimum of unnecessary goals, minimum of unnecessary aggressions, etc. Minimum of unnecessary involvements. There was the mind available, the time was available to focus on the Lord. And today, most of the unwanted things only we have kept on our head, keeping ourselves so busy, we are not able to enjoy our lives. Another most important aspect of through Upasana, reaching near and near to the Lord, day by day, life by life. So here Bhagavan Krishna is giving us those details. So this much is understood, and the Achala Murti is the Prana Pradishta Murti in the temple. Mostly they are in the temple. In some places, when a person is very, very rich, in the house only, he will make a temple of Prana Pratishtita, then he must be committed for that. If it is a Prana Pratishtita temple, like the guest at home, all the time you have to attend to him, then those rich people appoint a permanent pujari also. तो पुजारी फिर उनको भी वहीं रहने का कमरा वगैरह दिया जाता है, तो वहीं रहते. एंड दैट टेम्पल इज ओनली फॉर दोज फैमिली मेंबर्स. सम टाइम एनी ओकेशन आउटसाइडर्स आल्सो मे बी अलाउड. अदरवाइज घरों से ज्यादा ऐसे वाले अचल प्राण प्रतिष्ठित शाश्वत प्रतिमा युक्त मूर्ति युक्त मंदिर आर जनरली देयर इन द टेम्पल्स. Second one is ki chala murti. In the chala, he can be moved, he can be lifted. Sometime you can take him also. Is it not? Like it is a Achala Murti, you only got it Pratishtito, but when you get shifted to another town, you can't lift that god and go. But in your own house, the Murti in your puja room, he is Chala. When you shift the house, he also goes with you. Okay? Now, the first difference between these two, not many, only few, is the Achala Murti, you need not have Avahanam Udvasanam. Clear? Nothing difficult to there, because he is already there. In the Chala Murti, because the Chala Murti, as I told you yesterday, any of the pramada can happen. Therefore, to avoid that, after the puja, the Bhagavan is sent. Wherever you have come from, O Lord, you go back. And where from he comes? He comes from our own heart. So we send him to our own heart. That will be told. Every step we will see. Let it take its time, but we'll try to see as many details as possible once in lifetime. Nothing wrong in understanding like that. And early morning also, Avahanam is done. So, Dhyayami, Avahayami in the beginning and end of the puja. then mantrainam, kriyainam, bhaktiinam, janardhan, etputamaya deva, paripurnam, tadasme, anaya dhyanavana puja, Bhagavan Sri Mahavishnu, priyatam. Then avahanam najanami, najanami sarjanam, pujam seva najanami kshamasva, janardhana, all that is done. Then we say, udvasayami devesham, ityadi mantra, then kshemaya punaragamanaya cha. O Lord, may you now go to the abode from where you came, the Upasya Devata, the intellectual God who is permeating all the places, and our goal to reach Him, and sadhanas to do to reach Him, and the life to be lived as told by Him through Shastra and Guru. These are all always there. It's not that God is sent Udvasana, that we have forgotten Him and we are behaving as if He is not there. It is talked about the Upasana Vidhividhana Prakriya. Please be careful of the context what we are studying. So Achala and Chala. So in all our houses, what we have the Chala Murti. Clear? Udvasana Avahana has to be done every day. पहले आवाहन फिर पूजा संपन्न होने के बाद उद्वासन फिर से आवाहन उद्वासन. Even in the evening also, in the light lamp, just feel, oh Lord, you are welcomed here, please stay. You may not do all the puja as it is done in the morning. Then evening again, before the dinner, etc., you can do mental udvasana to God, flow the puja mandiram, you can go for your work and sleep and all that. All that is in my house, in the mandiram, Bhagavan is there. To him I am doing upasana and he is taking care of me. All this should be so strongly felt. So strongly that really you can see. And I have seen few houses in my life where they don't go to any satsang, none of the Shastra, Patanam, Adhyanam, kuch nahi. But somehow in their house the God is there. How much of Shraddha they have that God. Only Shraddha that is there. They do maximum Deeparadhan. They don't know even all Abhishek Upa. Kuch nahi jante. Bas Bhagavan hai, diya lagaya, namaskar kiya, matha teka. And their families are so wonderful. Children studied, educated, well settled, married and all. And they also got this samskaram. Wonderful, good inspiration. Luckily, we are better placed than them if we are serious, practical like them. Because we have information, we have knowledge, we are studying Shastra. With this background, though, we can do better of the upasanas in our house and passing on that legacy, that beautiful culture and samskara to the children. Nothing like that. If you train your children in these 4 or 5 things, 1 doing daily upasana, 2 daily studying Shastra, 3 daily doing the prayer to the Lord to keep him on the right track, 4 then under the guidance of some guru or teacher. If these 4 things are done by you for your children, grandchildren, you have done the best of the thing. So we have seen Pratima, made of the outer 8 items, any of them we have selected, and that Pratima, which is Jiva Mandiram, is of 2 types. One is Achala and Chala, and to the Achala there is no Avahana Udvasana, so the Chala Murti, Avahana Udvasa is there. Okay, Udvasana Avahane Nastah Sthirayam Uddhava Archane. So Sthira Murti mein Udvasana Avahana nahi hai, ka arth kya hua? Asthira mein hai. So if one is said, other thing to be understood. Now he comes to the next one. Asthirayam vikalpasyat. So asthira murti, definitely we have to do that udvasana avahana. But in that asthira murti also, if you have helped yourself through the Panditji's help about the Lord being there all the time, there also you can avoid the avahana udvasana, but in that time you should feel that the Lord is there always. That's what the vikalpa meaning. Asthirayam vikalpa syat. What is the difference therefore meaning of sthira and asthira? Sthira is established. Sthira and achala means established. वो मतलब प्रॉपरली प्राण प्रतिष्ठा के माध्यम से पहले उनको नहीं हिलाने का उस रूप में प्रतिष्ठित किया. It goes there, it stays there for hundreds and thousands of years till some useless fellows come and break. Rakshasas. If they don't come, it is permanent. Thousands of years. Okay? Now, asthiraya vikalpasyat. Now, sthandile tu bhavet dvayam. In the sthandila, in the bhu place, bhu bhaga, purified bhu place, bhubhaga, where that also is one of the pratima, 8 pratima. There you have to do avahanam, definitely, and after upasana or puja, definitely you have to do the udvasanam. Otherwise, वो जगह का उस जगह में उद्वासन नहीं किया मतलब भगवान is still there. There is a chance for the insulting of भगवान by somebody. है ना, नोइंगली और अनोइंगली, इसलिए वहाँ जरूर उद्वासना करनी है. बाय द वे, यू नो, आई फील यू नो व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ आवाहनम उद्वाहनम उद्वासनम. आवाहनम मीन्स वेलकमिंग, उद्वासनम मीन्स सेंडिंग ऑफ. आवाहनम और आह्वानम, उद्वासनम मीन्स sending the Lord to back from where we invited him. Okay, now another instruction Bhagavan gives. What is that? Snapanam tu avilepyayam. Okay, other than the vilepana made and other things, to them we can do snapanam. To this we cannot do snapanam. So a idol made out of what is written here, the lepya is there, the lekhya is there, then saikati is there. Lepya made out of chandana or haldi. Lekhya is handmade or painted picture. Saikati, which is made by the sand. You cannot do the snanam abhishekam to that Lord. Snanam samarpayam, if you do, then the Lord Bhagavan gal jayenge wahan. Then what to do? Parimarjanam. You can only do the parimarjana, means unke charo taraf pani chidakna. That itself is accepted as the abhishekam done to Bhagavan. Very clear it is. Many a time we have a doubt. स्वामी भगवान का कुछ कुछ घरों में ऐसे होता है. You know, we have seen, बेचारे, they're so sincere, you know. They do abhishekam to the photos also. Or and when you do abhishekam with pushpam, you have to wipe it also. अब वो वाइप कर करके भगवान का चेहरा ही गायब हो गया वहाँ, but still they have the faith. That's the beauty of that. So here we are told now only the sprinkle the water around. That is called as parimarjanam. चारों तरफ परिमार्जन करो, सीधा उनके पर ओम करके अभिषेक करोगे, द हल्दी वाला, चंदन वाला, साइकथ सैंड वाला वो गल जाएगा. कहाँ गए मेरे भगवान? अभी अभी मैं बनाया था गणपति जी को हल्दी से. तो देखो आपके भक्ति भाव के उस उद्धृत फ्लड में भगवान जी को बह जा रहे. He is getting flown in that flood of your loving devotion which you express through that abhishekam. नमस्ते गणपते त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं तत्त्वमसि त्वमेव केवलं कर्तासि धर्तासि. एंड बाय द टाइम एक एक भगवान का, है ना, द ट्रंक, द लेग्स, हैंड्स, everything got melted. Where is Bhagavan? So very clear. Why? Because these small little doubts keep on staying in our heart throughout life, because of which we are not able to do it sincerely. भगवान इसलिए इन छोटे चीजों को भी वो क्लियर कर रहे हैं. The 7 types of places in which Bhagavan can be invoked. Among them, the first is Pratima. In that Pratima is the 8 times. And among them, the Achala and Chala. In the Achala, Avahana Udvasana not required, but in Chala it can be there. But most importantly, Avahana Udvasana should be done when the Pratima is the Standilam. Thereafter, when it comes to Snapanam, only to you can do to Shaili, Lauhi, Manimayi. To these you can do the Abhisheka. Darmayi also, if you keep on doing, फिर वो विग्रह जो है खराब होने का चांस. And Manimayi, you can do Abhishekam in the mana definitely. Mani is being strong, so you can do it to the Mani also. So when it is said that these 3, 4 you should not do Abhisheka, it means that the other things you can do. Because you can do, therefore you should do. By the way, what is therefore said? Avahanam is the beginning of the Upasana. Then one of the important Anga in the Upasana is Snapanam. Keep it in the mind. But that also in चीजों को अगर मूर्तियां हैं, remember, Bhagavan is not saying don't give bath. Bhagavan is saying don't give the liquid bath. Give the bath of samprokshanam or parimarchanam. Upasana ka anga is asnanam, that is definitely done, but not by pouring the water at the lota and all, but only doing parimarjana. In the sequence of the steps, for all the 8 types of pratima, all the steps are there. कोई step miss नहीं होगा. But while performing those steps, because of the item which is selected for upasana, we some of the places skip that abhishekam done with water. But we do the parimarjana. ऐसा मत सोचना कि अब हल्दी वाले हैं उनको नहाना ही नहीं करना. हाँ, परिमार्जन करके नया करना है, not by pouring it. Okay, now the next 2-3 shlokas are very crucial, very important, very beautiful. Be attentive about them. One is what? Dravyaihi prasiddhaihi madhyagaha pratimadishu amayinah bhaktasya chayata labdhaihi hrudi bhavena chaivahi. A complete, big, important crux shloka. None of the words should be neglected in that. Okay, now let us see what is it. Ki dravyaihi prasiddhaihi. So with all the dravyas, prasiddhai. Prasiddhi means 2 times, 2 meanings. One prasiddha means the best of the dravyas. Prasiddha dravya means best dravya. Second is prasiddha dravya means the dravya, be attentive. The second meaning is important. The dravyas of the puja procured and collected with best of the efforts. This is the actual meaning of prasiddha dravya. Prakarshena siddha. Okay? Some of the people don't have resources. Therefore, they cannot have very lavish things. But whatever they can do, bring the dravyas, they did that with the best of their efforts. There was the best of the efforts, say, collected dravya, therefore, best dravya also, if possible. That is the meaning of prasiddhaihi dravyaihi. If you are well off, rich, resourceful, you put best efforts to get the best things. So therefore, what is the meaning in that case? The meaning is what? Even if from far off the distances, by pouring lot of money, we have to get it, I bring all of them for the Lord because I can afford. That is called as prasiddhi, and that's what they do. In some big temples, all the dravya used for the Lord are made specially in some special places, which goes for a lot of cost also. बहुत महंगा होता है वो कर पाते हैं तो कर रहे हैं, उनके वही प्रसिद्ध है. In small little temple, they don't have resources, but with whatever the resources they have, they do the best efforts to get the thing. Okay, and then the prasiddha also means what? Self-made. Is it not? Prasiddhaihi dravyaihi. So if I am the pujari and I don't know much of the things, I have little of chawal, थोड़ा सा दूध है और something called गुड़ है, बस उसी से मेहनत करके अच्छा पायसम बनाऊंगा, that itself becomes naivedyam to God. Like that all other items. I don't have big bagicha of the flowers. That 10 variety flowered garlands I can't bring for the Lord. But I have in my own room house, there are 2-3 tulsi plants. So एक से नमस्कार करके तुलसी माता को प्रणाम करके, taking 3-4 leaves from that, I make a small garland. That is prasiddha dravya as regard the that pushpamala or patramala is concerned. So the intention is to be very pure, clear. Accordingly, whatever we can fetch, we do it. So dravyaihi prasiddhaihi. Is it clear? The best of the dravya brought with the best of the efforts and done by ourselves. In an ideal manner, just ideally I am telling, in that house where the puja for the Bhagavan is done with the prasiddhata, there is a different stove, etc., along with all utensils, only for making naivedyam for God. Whole kitchen is for Bhagavan. From there, nothing comes for the domestic use. So too, whatever we use for the domestic purpose, उस kitchen से कोई पूजा के लिए लिया नहीं जाता. That is only. Okay, in the same way, in that house, there is a proper place where house outside, the lot of flowers and tulasi etc. are grown. And all flowers and the tulasi are only for God. They are not used for any decoration purpose or the purpose for the women to use etc. Of course, after offering to God, you take it as prasadam. You understand? तो उनके घर में एक गार्डन होगा, पत्र पुष्प, इवन सम फ्रूट ट्रीज आल्सो आर देयर, कैन बी वाह फ्रूट है, ये है वो है करके भगवान को आप दे सकते हैं, फल केले के हो सकते हैं. दैट इज हाउ इट वाज अर्लियर. नो, एक मंदिर, इसके चारों तरफ ये सब होता था. देन वो माली भी वगैरह होते थे, वही सेवक मंदिर के. सो वो अलॉन्ग विद पुजारी, दे गेट ऑल दीज थिंग्स रेडी, दे डू द उपासना टू द लॉर्ड विद देम. इज इट नॉट? दैट्स द वे. द्रव्यैः प्रसिद्धैः. Then I told only about pushpam naivedyam. But you have to add dravya means everything. It can be the wicks made out of cotton. It can be the ghee that is used for lighting the lamp. It is the agarbatti, it's the karpuram. Whatever भगवान के उपासना के लिए यूजफुल वाले द्रव्यम, इंक्लूडिंग वाटर. भगवान शिव है तो भस्म इत्यादि, माता रानी तो कुंकुम and haldi, chandanam if it is Lord Vishnu, all these dravyas. And hundreds and thousands of things are not required for Bhagavan for daily puja, some 10, 12. When it's an occasional puja, then you do lot of things. Make a habit. This is the only way we can escape our mind's rakshasatva. Left to ourselves without doing any puja, our mana is either filled with kamakrodadi or with ragadveshadi or with fighting with everyone. That mind identified with which we live life like a rascal, such a bhayankara rakshas only. Should we continue like that? And at a higher level of conviction, I tell you, only these three things in our life. One, doing upasana and making antakarana shuddha. Two, either listening from the Guru or studying the Shastra. Third, contemplating, meditating and nearing to the God. और क्या चाहिए बोलो जिंदगी में? बाकी सब बकवास, वो चलता ही रहता है, उसका कोई अंत नहीं होता. हमें उसका अंत करके पर साधना के द्वारा अपने अनंत स्वरूप को जानना है. You know, if this happens, I am to praying for that time in my life where all things are dropped. Just doing 1-2 hours upasana morning, evening to my Lord and Guru Parampara and Gurudeva, and then studying some Shastra, and in that contemplation, that's it. Forget the entire world. What is to do in this world which is nothing but projection only, imagination only? है कि नहीं? वो फंसते रहोगे तो फंसाता ही रहता है वो, कोई अंत नहीं होता उसका. The more you value importance, you go on indulging, involving. देखो, you can see in this world only, both extreme type of people are there. One, who are in the same world, but so much worldly by involving in thousands of things. There are other extreme people, those who are in the same world, but there is no world in them. In them there is only Bhagwan. दोनों इसी दुनिया में हमारे आंखों के सामने है. The first fellow, on whatever the whims and fancies, he is caught up in the world and worldliness. The other one is, by being introverted that way, discovering the substratum of the world. देख लो. So, dravyaihi prasiddhaihi is explained. I am pausing only that at least this data enters into our heart. If not this life, it is next life. Right from beginning, we do all that. Even in this life, once in a week, once in a month, ऐसे ही शुरू होता है. 15 दिन में एक बार, एकादशी के दिन डू विष्णु पूजा. उसके बाद हर सैटरडे वाले, फिर 3 दिन में एक बार, उसके बाद हर दिन. This is how slowly we have to get habit of doing ourselves the upasana for the Lord. And the best big thing gift you can give to me, especially the North Indians, that when I come to your house after 1 year, if you invite me, only for 10 minutes, don't worry, I'll not have anything. I must see you like Pakka Dakshin Bharatiya, with all the Yajnopavitam, wearing the dhoti, with all the Bhasma, Chandanam, Kunkuma, Pakka Puja Rigdara, in your own puja room, when you are doing all puja to Lord Narayana. If I can see that in your house in a year's time, I think you have given me the best gift. What about South Indians? Same thing, but more deep sincerely, because they're already doing some of them. I will be observing in this South how much intensely, deeply you are doing without ego. In South India, they do and they are egoistic also. हम सबसे ज़्यादा करते हैं. They think we don't recognize it, which is understandable. Who is egoistic for what? Somebody egoistic for nothing, somebody egoistic for even these positive things. Anyway, dravyaihi prasiddhyaihi mad yagaha. Yaga means my upasana. Both. Be he tantrika as well as Vaidika. Tantrika means this upasana path. Vaidika means yajna. So dravyaihi prasiddhaihi mad yaga. Mad means mera. मेरा वाला ये उपासना प्रसिद्ध द्रव्यों से प्रतिमादिशु. All these pratima and what are the things said? अर्चायाम स्तंडिले अग्नौ सूर्य अपसु, ऐसा बताया ना, इनमें से किसी में से भी करो. एंड दिस वर्ड यू सी भगवान इज यूजिंग सेकंड टाइम, अमायिनहा. Don't use the misguided mind of doing any maya, chala, kapata while doing the upasana. What is the amaya? Means full shraddha. That I am given and taught about this upasana by the Lord Guru Shastra. They gave us the oral diksha. What is the diksha? Please do it when the Guru said, that itself is diksha. In some cases, the Guru or anybody, pujar in the temple also, can give you an idol. Then this is my support now for the whole life, for my outer and inner lives. Now to get his support continuously, here onwards, I have taken a vow of doing his upasana puja every day. So in that, in the best of the dravyas brought, in the best of the techniques understood, in the best of attitudes and intention, without any distraction, I do puja. And the only purpose of puja is to propitiate Lord, to make the Lord happy. And as regard the Sankalpa is concerned, Bhagavan Karma Bandha Mokshanam, Bhagavan Nishreyasam, Bhakti at your feet. In this way, every day, with the same love, if possible, added love, if possible, with the better way of offering the dravyam, when we do, not allowing anybody to misguide, not allowing the mind to say, "Ye har din kya karna hai?" Not allowing the wrong intellect there, which says, now the Lord is not anywhere in your own heart as a self, therefore you have reason about that thing, therefore you need not do puja. When the useless, our own intellect says like that, even that also we should not listen. It is called as amayinaha. मैं तो कहता हूँ, how much ever you become Vedanti, of Aham Brahmasmi, of all the Upanishads, yet everyday upasana should not be given up. That's why every Advaita Vedanti, except one or two misguided, you can see, especially those who parampara, follow the Adi Shankara parampara, all of them have the Archa Murti in their house or in the temple or in the ashrama, and they do. Tell me, in Bhagavan Adi Shankara established which of the matha there is no temple? Every matha there is temple and they do upasana. And what he taught was Advaita Brahma Tattva. देखो, Advaita Brahma Tattva is goal. But who will give us that goal? Only the Ishvara, whose upasana we have to do. Therefore the God in there. Any of them. Kanchi jao, Puri jao, idhar udhar, jahan bhi jao, Badri, Joshimat, there is Archa Murti upasana daily done. That is our authority. Therefore, the so-called misguided intellects which say that you need not do upasana, etc., don't understand. Now, what is said in, don't follow it. What is said in Kena Upanishad is the very highest level. Tadeva Brahmatvam Vidhi Nedam Yadina Upasate. That doesn't mean that don't do upasana. What is said is there, don't only get conditioned at upasana level, you discover your own self. And the same self is, in this pratima I am doing upasana so that the parampara is kept up. देखो, जिस रास्ते से हम पहुंच जाते हैं ना भगवान, वो रास्ते को खराब करते नहीं जाना, ताकि दूसरे लोग भी उसी रास्ते में आए. Because I have reached to a higher level, I don't want to do the earlier, therefore I misguide others. This is the less informed, immature namesake gurus. That's why they misguide us. There are very many. They may be perfect in some things, but in everything they will not be perfect. And wherever they are imperfect, when they take charge to give sermons, they only misguide people. Everybody. And even they don't do the misguidance intentionally, but it happens. Like Gautama Buddha, he is Bhagavan's avatar only. But when he denied the karma kanda, it got a negative flavor of misguidance. His idea was too much of himsa was happening through yajna yaga. Therefore, to avoid the himsa, he said no need to do yajna. No, people have learned this, understood it as yajna need not be done. And where the yajnas are taught in the Vedas, when the yajna are not done, then why study Veda? Gone. When Veda gone, even moksha also gone. Therefore, entire edifice of Sanatan Dharma was being missing that time, not because of Buddha, but the followers. Therefore, Bhagavan Shankara had to come and he has to re-establish. Shankara established Advaita Brahma Tattva with all Bhashyam, and he established more temples than even the Dvaita Acharyas. More stotrams he wrote than even Dvaita Acharyas. And these Dvaita Acharyas were caught up in their own God. The Vishnu Acharya wrote only Vishnu, Vaishnava Acharyas. Shaiva Acharya wrote only Shaiva Stotra. But Shankar Bhagavan to हर एक के ऊपर लिखा उन्होंने to revive the Sanatana Dharma, in which Upasana is also very essential factors in spiritual unfoldment. Never ever give up that. Take one advice. How much of Vedanta you understand, conceive, meditate, it's okay. But never give up daily Upasana. Because that Upasya Deva alone becomes the final support to us. Because the Nirguna Brahma will not answer you. He says, you drop your own Jiva Bhava and merge in me. How can you ask Nirguna Brahma, जिनको कान नहीं है, नाक नहीं है वगैरह? He is beyond all the Indriyas mana, no? But this Saguna Ishvara is with all the Indriya mana. He listens to our prayers and our problems. That is why tomorrow night, day after शायद कल भी शुरू होगा प्रणव उपासना में all these topics come in our Taittiriya. So dravyaihi prasidhaihi madhyagaha pratimadishu amayinaha. Without Maya, in the Pratima Ityadi, in the 7 things, please do Mayaga with Prasiddha Dravya. Okay? And while doing so, Bhaktasya cha. भक्त बनने में के लिए भक्त बनना पड़ता है. भक्त बनते 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 भक्त बन जाते. You understand the trick in that? To become devotee, you have to become devotee. And by becoming devotee, we become devotee. ये रिडल को आप समझ लेना. I'll give you it as homework. तो भक्तस्य च now यथा लब्धैः. All the dravyas, remember, यथा लब्धैः. As you can, with your efforts, can procure. That's enough for Bhagavan. You need not struggle and get frustrated that the dravyas you could not procure. Or in the procurement of dravya only you spent all the time and there is no time left for sadhana और उपासना. ऐसा भी नहीं होना चाहिए. हो गया. द्रव्य ही प्रसिद्ध ही मध्यागः प्रतिमादिषु अमायिनः. हो गया. नो भक्तस्य च यथा लब्धैः. Now in this shloka, another sentence very important is hrudi bhavena cha eva hi. और याद रखना अब से लेकर जिंदगी भर भगवान इज नॉट द्रव्य के भूखे हैं. भगवान द्रव्य के भूखे नहीं होते हैं. भगवान भाव के भूखे होते. He wants bhava from us expressed through dravya, because we have some attachment with dravya. Dravya procurement may be effortful, you may not have resources. But about bhava, what effort required for it, like the other things? Therefore, you should never have the bhava daridryam, even if you have the dravya daridryam. And in many cases, they have the dravya plenty, but bhava is not at all there. That it is Bhagavan came to my house on my invitation, very much is seated in that murti, I am doing is upasana. I'll not get distracted at any cost as long as I am doing puja. These bhavanas are not at all there. You know, bhav ke bhuke hain. And you can see those old movies of 1950s, 60s, 70s. How beautiful they are, you know. आप ना उसको बार बार देखना ये अपने सत्संग के साथ. How those devotees with whatever little patta वगैरह while offering it to God. भगवान, today I could procure only this. Please forgive me. Tomorrow I'll try little better. But this is what I can do today. Please accept it. No, when that भाव के साथ वो लोग देते हैं ना, how much Bhagavan is happy with that. And the directors are also so intelligent because they have studied all the Upasana, Purana, Shastras. That one scene they show here, the Bhakta with tears in the eyes, offering with bhava, feeling, asking the Lord to say, forgive, because only this much he could do. And in the other screen they show that the Narayana is telling Lakshmi, see Lakshmi, my Bhakta. Then Lakshmi says, what Bhakta, useless fellow, is doing nothing. Then Narayana says, Lakshmi, you have not understood. I am not interested in the dravya. She is bhava. See that? Conviction हो गया कि नहीं हमको? No, it doesn't mean when you have good bhava, therefore you will not offer dravya. दोनों है तो दोनों. दोनों is ultimate. In among them, the dravya, if it is able to do, do. If not, bhava को कभी नहीं मिस करना. So in the amayana means what? द्रव्य में कोई कंजूसी नहीं करना. Then bhavena means full bhav के साथ. With whatever द्रव्य we have, bhaktasya chetalabdaihi hrudi bhavena cha evahi. And that's what we see in the case of Krishna. When Duryodhana invited him Chappan Bhog, and he did not go. He went to Vidura uninvited. And there he had only kele ka chilka, as they say. Is it not? This portion we have not seen in Bhagavatam. It may be in some other story, Purana. See, Bhagavata is complete story of Krishna's avatars. But in that, every step of the Krishna, if it is told, every day is happening, then Bhagavata would run into lakhs of shlokas. Therefore, in other Puranas, they mention. In other ways, what? Those stories of Krishna may be in another yuga. Because every time that Dwapara Yuga comes, every time Krishna Avtara comes, every time major Leelas remaining same, here and there will be differences. The additions, subtractions, ये होते रहते. Now comes the next one. Wonderful points. Snanalankaranam preshtham archayam eva tudhava. Standile tattva vinyasaha vahnau ajaplutam havihi. Surye chabhyarhanam shreshtham salile saliladivihi. This 1.5 sloka can be chanted as one portion. Okay. What is that? Archayam eva, he Uddhava, snana alankaranam preshtham. Preshtham means shreshtham. I like it and it is the best thing to do snana alankaranam only to archayam. Okay, in the archa murti. In that also, when it is made out of the shaili, lauhi, then manimai. If this is there in your house or the temple as a murti, definitely I love to have, Lord says, and advise you to do with all devotion, snanam as well as alankaranam. Is it not? And that snanam again in the subsequent shastras, other gurus invoking Bhagavan's guidance, they have added the Dudha Abhishekam with all variety of mantrocharana, with not only milk water, with the milk. Then the Panchamrita got added, then the 11 liquids got added, then so many other dravya. There are some temples, special occasions में तो so big an abhishekam they do. मुख्य रूप से शिवालयों में शिव जी के लिए शिवरात्रि के दिन in every of Shiva temple, Lord Shiva is so happy, so much of variety of abhishekas there. Okay, even विष्णु मूर्ति का यहाँ तो विष्णु पुराण है तो स्नान अलंकरणम प्रेष्ठम अर्चायाम एव तो उद्धवा अर्चायाम एव in the archa murti Daily snanam, papa, alankaranam we have to do. So in alankaranam, all the steps come. We are going to see all. We are only following what Bhagavan is saying. Then when the topics come after 10, 12 slokas, 2 days we'll spend exhaustively to study all the Shodasha Upacharas that become the Upasana. And every Upasana, every Upachara, in short, a minute or so, how to do it, what is the meaning behind that. This is what I am feeling to say. As of now, if that inspiration is sustaining, I'll do that. If not, जो लिखा है बढ़ते जाएंगे बढ़ते जाएंगे. So, Alankaranam. In that Alankaranam, after Vastrodvartanam, Vastra Samarpanam, Chandanam, Kunkumam, if Shiva is Bhaksma, Layapanam, and also Yagnopavitam, and all the variety of the Pushpamalas, Vanamalas, Patramalas, then as many as Avaranas possible. The idea of all so many steps, in each step, so many details is only these two things. As much of the time possible, we are spending with God. Second, as many things which we think as ours, we are offering to God. That's the purpose of long, long pujas. And in that puja, when we deal intensely with Shraddha Amainaha, you can really see the presence of Bhagavan more distinctly and vividly. That's why when we go to people's houses, we see the pujaram. First thing is we want to see pujaram. Immediately हमको पता चलता है कि किसके घर में हर दिन भक्ति भाव से lot of time is spent in doing puja systematically. And in which house we know कि simple lamp is lit, that's all. And Bhagavan is asking them, यार मेरा बाकी पूजा करो. देख उधर बाथरूम में टवल है, ये भगवान जाके तू नहा ले. भूख लग रही है, तुमको फ्रिज किचन में ही रखा हूँ ना. दैट्स वाई नवडे दे हैव पूजा रूम इन द किचन. जाके फ्रिज में खा लेना, मुझे टीवी सीरियल देखना है. लाइक दैट द लॉर्ड लुक्स टू बी वेरी पतला दुबला. आई आस्क हिम, क्या बात है, क्या वो 10 दिन में भी एक बार को खिलाते नहीं, वो लोग खूब खाते रहते हैं. The whole pujaram looks to be like that, pale. And our attention is not on the sangmarmar, variety of designs, wonderful blazing lights you put. That's okay, it's a show, it's good. More than that, to those idols, what you are attending, that is observed. And we see that very clearly. Some places, bechare, they don't have money to even do whitewash properly and all. Asan vasan, oh, this also which chal raha hai. But murtis also very old. But in those murtis, the divinity is so conspicuous. Those people, devotees, family members, what mantrocharana they do, वहाँ reverberate होता रहता है उस पूजा मंदिर में. If one can have the art and siddhi, yoga siddhi of listening to them. Hmm. And one thing you remember before we conclude, at whatever the stage of abilities and understandings we have today of doing upasana, don't get stuck up there. Get added one by one. Improve yourself. ऐसा नहीं करोगे हम नॉर्थ में रहते हैं सब नहीं हो सकता हमसे. दिस इज ए शेयर रॉन्ग. हाउ लॉन्ग यू डू जस्टिफिकेशन ऐसे लाइक आई टोल्ड यू वन डे. हास्य से बोला मैं कि सत्य हमको उसमें संस्कृत आता नहीं करके 20 साल से आता नहीं बोल रहे हैं, लेकिन एक दिन भी कोशिश नहीं किया सीखने को. नो, इज इट राइट? जस्ट लाइक पीपल, hundreds of them I send a message every day from last 1,000 days, and I have conducted 3,000 lectures, but they don't come to any one of them. No, they are such a unfortunate fellows. What can I do? And they are so-called friends only of mine. What friends? I want to cut my relation with all of them. In the same way, don't get stuck up by justifying that I can't do, I can't do. No, little, start doing it. Everything can be done. Enjoy that also. That these 10 years I have done everyday upasana to my Lord. And this goes in a big way, in a long way. It cuts short so many lives of prarabdha, so many lives of papa cleared. Definitely we can be flying in our spiritual sadhana. है ना, फ्लाइट में जल्दी जाते हम. Otherwise, why will the Lord tell this to do? He should have told Uddhava, "Hey, Upanishad, Bhat, Taittiriya Upanishad, and just listen and do all those things first and do meditate." No, he said do this. And these are all there in Upanishad only. Upanishad mein Maha, the Upasana is done of the Mahat Brahma and all. Here it is done of Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu is Mahat Brahma only. Hiranyagarbha, Mahat Brahma, Mahavishnu, Mahadeva, all are same. In that text it is said like that, here it is said like that. That is. Now हो गया स्नानालंकरणम प्रेष्णम अर्चायामेव तुद्धव. Then sthandile tattva vinyasa. In the standila, you can't do snana alankarana, all that. You can do tattva vinyasa, means whatever the what do you say, in that standila, in the akara of the Bhagwan you imagine, in the mind you can do. This is what is done करके उससे हो जाता है. But Vakhnau, in the Agni, how the puja predominantly done? In the Standila, Tattva Vinyas kiya jata hai. Means what? Of Bhagavan's different limbs through Veda mantra, Purana mantra are invoked in that Tattva. And with the mind only you can't do Namaskara, that is Upasana there. For the Standila Adi. What about Agni? Out of the 7, Agni also is told for us na. Agni mein, what he said here is Agnau Ajya Plutam Havihi. The Ahuti is to be done having dipped them in the ghee. If it is a Samidha, dip in the ghee and put. If they are the Navadhanyas or other things, in that add that ghee, mix it, with that you offer it. So प्रतिमा में predominant क्या है? स्नानम अलंकरणम. Standila में तत्व विन्यासा. To be done definitely, along with other things depending on permissibility there. But to this, the next one called Vahni, fire god, god in the fire, you do the Havi Dhanam, Havihi offering by Ajya Plutam. Ajya is ghee, Plutam is touched with, Havihi means the offerings, Vahni means when you invoke the god Vishnu in the Agni. Oh yeah, then Surya cha. If you are saying Narayana in the Surya, Abhyarahanam. That Abhyarahana means the Arghya Pradhanam. हाथ में पानी लेकर मंत्रोच्चारण करके, है ना, that is to be done compulsorily if you take the Lord Surya as your means of worshipping Narayana. हो गया. वर्शिप किसका हो रहा है इधर? नारायण का. क्योंकि उद्धव जी ने पूछा आपका पूजा मैं कैसे करूं? भगवान भी कह रहे मेरा पूजा, पर पूजा मेरा हो रहा है बट थ्रू दोज 7 मीडियम्स. Among those 7, the first one, Archa Murti, has got again can be made out of 8 dhatus. That's how, don't forget this. हो गया. सूर्य च अभ्यर्हणम श्रेष्ठम सलिले. If you take the Lord in the water, with the water only, वहीं से पानी लेकर उसी को द्रव्य मानकर वहां उनको अर्पण करते रहना. इस तरह से some more instructions given here. Now in the 17th mantra, it is in continuation of 15th only, but profound thing is said. It is required to be told twice. Therefore, little bit we'll say now in a minute. Tomorrow we'll study it little exhaustively. What is that? Shraddhayopahrutam preshtham bhaktena mama varyave bhuri api abhaktopahrutam namethoshaya kalvate gandhodupah sumanasah Deeponadyam cha kim punaha. Means what? Literal meaning I say and conclude. Tomorrow we take up in a big way. What is that? Shraddhaya upahrutam preshtham bhaktena mama. And with by bhakta, with shraddha, whatever he brings, that is most loved, liked by me, even it is vari api, even it is a water. One. Other point, bhuri api. But there is other version, lot of things he brought for me, but abhakta, he has no feeling of devotion to me. Of him, whatever he brings so much, name toshaya kalpate, it will not make me happy. And therefore, Shraddha Bhakti are the ones which I want, not the Dravya. So without Shraddha Bhakti, how much ever you bring, I am not happy. With Shraddha Bhakti, if you bring even water, I'll happy. With the same Shraddha Bhakti, if you offer Gandha, Dhupaha, Pushpa, Deepaha, Annadi, what to tell about how much I feel happy. Now, while we discuss this Upasana Prakaranam, Upasana Prakriya of Bhagavan is taken as our Bhagavan doing Upasana, don't bring Advaita Brahma and get confused. That is a different class altogether. When we go there, it is only Tattva Chintana, Mananam. We only contemplate, go beyond three gunas, go beyond Panchakoshas, go beyond three dehas, through all the Pratibimbavada, Avachedavada, Vivartavada. That's all different class altogether. Don't spoil this beautiful upasana by bringing that here. जो उपासना कर रहे हो तो उपासक है and that time there is 100% Dvaita, you are a Bhakta, that is Bhagavan, and to him with all the Bhakti and Shraddha in the best way with the learning of all these steps we have to do upasana. इसका इसी में fulfillment है, उधर इधर ले आके गड़बड़ मत करना. It's a strong suggestion. Even it can be an order also if you receive it. Enjoy this only. And many people have become jnanis quickly through upasana. Then the so-called jnanis struggling with that ghatakash, patakash, matakash. खींच लेंगे सारे बाल, आएगा नहीं वेदांत. How can it come with such an ego? But here the bhakta and doing upasana, Bhagavan says, दे दिया मैंने इनका ज्ञान ज्योति अंदर जो है प्रज्वलित. मच्चिता मद्गत प्राणाः बोधयन्ता परस्परम कथयन्त शमाम नित्यं तुष्यन्ति च रमन्ति च तेषां सततयुक्तानां देखो भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं ददामि बुद्धियोगं तम येन माम उपयान्ति ते तेषामेव उनके लिए ही अनुकंपार्थम आउट ऑफ माय लव अहम मैं अज्ञानजनम तमः नाशयामि. I'll destroy the darkness of ignorance. How? Atma bhavastah jnana deepena bhasvata. By lighting the light of self-knowledge. देखो भक्ति में ना ज्ञान भी मिलता है, भक्ति का आनंद भी मिलेगा, भगवान का दर्शन भी होता है, एंड भगवान गिव्स ऑल द एंजॉयमेंट्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड आल्सो. पर एक ज्ञानी सब छोड़कर ब्रह्म को पकड़ने के ब्रह्म में वो लटकते रहते हैं. Swamiji, what are you saying? Early morning you said Aham Brahmasmi. I didn't know you are attending all classes and you are surprising me more by saying that you are listening without sleeping. Anyway, so Subha ka class, Subha, ab ka ab. So here we stop and this one little elaborately we see tomorrow. Then starting from how, where to sit, how the asana should be, which direction we have to face, thereafter how the nyasa we have to do, how to the kalasha puja we have to do, how the three patras we have to use them, then while doing puja which are the steps that are involved, all of that, more practical things are now going to come to us in the next 15 shlokas. So every day like this, 3-4 shloka हम पढ़ेंगे समझे and enjoy that way. I'm enjoying धीरे धीरे. आप बताइए करो. I have stopped all the struggles of running and trying to explain to you exhaustively so that you realize before me. सब छोड़ दिया मैंने. Enjoy that days, that time class and that shloka and that explanation. बस उसी में रमण. आगे पीछे प्रभु की इच्छा है. Okay? Stop today. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Krishna Chandra Bhagavana ki Jai. Sadgurunath Maharaj ki Jai. Now let us do Ramayanam. What happened? The further topic. How Bhagavan to Viveshana, to Sugriva and to Hanumanji. What he gives instructions, that portion we will see. And also in the next week, so now we can see the Lord starts going for his Mahaprasthanam, Bhagavan Rama. Here also Lord Krishna ka, after 1 month we will see, not 1 month,